The Marlins, they were very active at the trade deadline. So here's what I do. I always check, whether it's NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever it is. I always check the different sports sites for winners and losers. I always like when I do, for Dolphins training camp, Chris Perkins does stock up, stock down. I've told you this before. Do the right thing. Very confusing movie to me. I don't know how to feel at the end. Am I mad at Radio Raheem? Am I mad at the pizzeria? Nobody told me how to feel. I like when Chris Perkins says stock up, stock down. I know, just a quick little encapsulation. Who's doing well, who's doing poorly through the eyes of someone else. I don't care. That immediately becomes my opinion. I'm fine with that. So with the Marlins, though, did you see all the moves that they were making, or you were traveling last night, Crowder?
No, I remember when they picked up the pitcher, Robertson. Yeah, I remember.
Well, that was a couple days ago. But last night who'd they get last night? They got Berger.
Yeah, so they acquired Jake Berger from the White Sox, and he is good. Strikes out a lot, but also has 25 dingers.
But has a last name that's Berger.
Yeah. That's a trade in itself. His name is
I'll
Berger.
get a Marlins jersey just to write Berger on the back. And it has nothing to do with this guy, Berger. I don't even know his first name. What's his first name?
Jake
Berger.
I like him.
I'm gonna get Solana Berger jersey, and then the number will be a half because you cut the burger in half.
Hey, half a burger.
Pretty smart. Anyway, I go to Yahoo Sports this morning for winners and losers at the MLB trade deadline so that someone can explain to me who did well. Because my inclination is that the Marlins did well. They're obviously buying, not selling. So they're trying to make their team better here for this particular season, even though things have gone awry since the All-Star break. Here's what it says. This is great. So I go through winners, losers. Winners, future Mets. Winner, the month of September. Loser, the Seattle Mariners. I'm going through it right now. Loser, Aaron Judge. Winner, Baltimore Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays. Winner, San Diego Padres. Loser, Los Angeles Dodgers. Loser, Detroit Tigers. And then I get to this one. Doing a lot of things to neither win nor lose. Miami Marlins. The only one in that category. I've never heard that category before. This is a sports fan for 53 years. I've never heard of wheeling and dealing to not do anything, but that's what Yahoo Sports is saying here. So here's what they say, just so everyone knows. They say in first baseman DH Josh Bell, out first baseman DH Garrett Cooper, our guy. We like Cooper.
Cooper Loop.
In power hitter Jake Berger, out weak and declining hitter Gene Segura. But they write about Jake Berger accentuates the team's defensive mess. So I don't know how that helps. Right. But out on Gene Segura, they write who did at least provide defensive flexibility. So you lose some defense. In struggling receiver Jorge Lopez, out struggling reliever Dylan Floro. In relief pitcher David Robertson, out minor league catcher Ronald Hernandez and infielder Marco Vargas. In young pitcher Ryan Weathers, out pitching prospect Jake Eder and shortstop prospect Khalil Watson. Things happened. This is what Yahoo writes. Things happened. I'm not sure any of them will affect the swirling downward force tugging on the Marlins this season.
That's not glowing review of what their trade deadline acquisitions were. I would be with you on that one.
It's a little deeper than that, though. I think contracts come into play. Koopa Loop, who we love. First Pillows, now Koopa Loop. What the hell is going on? But he's did
Koopa Loop get traded, or is he just losing his spot?
No, he got traded.
He did.
Koopa Loop was traded, but he's a free agent at the end of this
year. Do we have a farewell montage for him?
Jimmy?
I take that as a no.
Mm.
Oh,
The
thanks for the
answer,
lifeline.
but the answer is always no, but we have one for Corey Dickerson, and then we play that. So it's never, we always have a good farewell montage. No, go ahead. We had Garrett Cooper on with us, right? He was a good guest.
He was.
Yeah.
But the guy they brought in essentially to replace him, who's a DH but also a first baseman, is on a deal this year. I think that's Josh Bell, but he's also on a player option for next year as well. So while maybe it doesn't help this year substantially, they basically washed the deal. It's the same player, but he'll be under contract next year if he accepts the player option.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
They don't have to pay Garrett Cooper. Again, I didn't read too much into the weeds here of what it is, but I read loosely on what the trades were.
Oh, that makes sense. The way that you just laid that out, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, but and all the people like as Yahoo Sports broke it down, Hawk, the people that are coming in like struggling reliever for a struggling reliever. You're not getting Cy Young winner for a struggling, reliever. So
valid point.
The thought of what they're going to be is that you trusted Kim Ang and the organization to say, hey, this struggling reliever is not going to struggle with us. Obviously, you're not bringing in the guy to struggle. And this bat, the guy that strikes out, I forgot his name already. He's not going to strike out. What is it?
Jake Berger.
Jake Berger.
First playing, as a matter of fact.
The thought of Jake Berger is he's not going to strike out as much with us. We're going to protect him in the lineup. They saw value in him, so hell, I see value in him.
No, I liked it. My inclination last night again was, hey, the Marlins are doing things. My son follows baseball because they play MLB The Show, so he knows more about baseball than I do. Comes home from playing basketball last night, walks in the door. First thing he says, Marlins are making moves. Like he's getting all the push notifications. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm with it. They're buyers, not sellers. It's pretty cool. I think last week, Craig Mish had tweeted out, Marlins are buyers, Mets are sellers, all is right in the world. But then I read that recap in Yahoo Sports and I found it funny because I've never seen that particular headline, especially when I specifically go for winners and losers. And I'm like, man, I'm scrolling a long time here. I thought Marlins were going to be listed as winners because they were active and they were shoring up some needs. And then I got to doing a lot of things to neither win nor lose. And then I got to the final line in there. Things happened. I'm not sure any of them will affect the swirling downward force tugging on the Marlins.
But with that downward force, change was needed and change was made.
All right.
So if it's to your point, it wasn't negative, it wasn't positive. If you had to rate them and they were 86, on you talking about a video game, the show. If they were 86 3 days ago, they're still at 86. So can you be mad about it? At least they're trying to do.
Definitely not mad about it.
I always say, Hawk, I love when our teams are involved. That means that we're working. I hate those years where it's a trade deadline and our teams aren't even brought up. They're not talking with anybody. They're not getting better. They're not getting worse. They're sitting status quo. I don't like status quo. Yahoo thinks they stayed status quo with 5 moves and they're still exactly where they were. But I would think the brass does not feel that way.
Well,
we shall see.
They brought in Brian Robertson, and this dude yesterday, Sandy pitches a gem, 8 scoreless innings, back-to-back nasty starts.
Yeah.
Skip goes to this Robertson fella, and what does he do? 24 pitches, 3 runs. Marlins blow a Sandy gem, and they fall game back of the Phillies. So far, Crowder, things aren't status quo. One of the moves they made dropped us below status quo.
Yeah, but if the guy that was here for Robertson, was he going to get us out of it?
Puck? No, that guy's been a bum.
Can't say yes.
I think it was Floro. I think it would have been Floro in that situation, not Puck.
Yeah, was Floro going to come in here and have a no-hitter as well and keep it going? I don't know.
Was a reliever. I don't think he was going to have a no-hitter. Neither was Robertson because it was Sandy pitching last night. Well, regardless, were you at the game, Jimmy?
No.
All right. Were you there Sunday?
Of course I was.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.